Hello, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United Transfer News Daily, talking all the latest transfer news and giving real fan opinion on it. Hope you're having a good start to the week, Monday, but lots to talk about in Manchester United, so let's hit it. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has apparently ended his stay at Manchester United. His family have upped sticks and are back on their way to Sweden, where Zlatan, having had his operation successfully on his knee in America, will go back to Sweden to recuperate. But the Manchester United career is over, apparently. He will work back to get fitness and more than likely rejoin an MLS side or join an MLS side around Christmas time next year for their new season. There'll be no further appearances for Manchester United. Sad, happy, glad, whatever. I think there was a lot of scepticism around the signing of Zlatan Ibrahimovic last summer. I've always been for it. I've always liked him as a striker. The big thing for me about Zlatan that will always endure about his time at Manchester United is when we signed him in the summer, I said that for a career that spans touching 15, 16 years, he's always been a one goal every 2 game striker, which is formidable. And he continued that at Manchester United. Some critics said he was past it, said he'd struggled to get 20 goals in the Premier League. He more than surpassed that, and he's been a very, very important player. I agree we were predictable at times. I agree his lack of pace was a problem, and I agree that he did miss chances. But what I would say this about Zlatan is that the goals he scored, would anybody else currently at the team be able to substitute those goals that Zlatan brought in? Rashford will be a great striker, but I don't think he could. Martial's been in and out, and Rooney's been very poor. So those goals from Zlatan have been crucial. Yes, the league form's not been great. We probably won't finish in the top 4, but the Europa League, the League Cup, those goals mattered, and those goals at the end of the season will matter, so it shouldn't be forgotten. It is sad that it ends like this with an injury. It would have been nice to have that option to seriously discuss whether we needed him for another year. I certainly think Mourinho would have kept him. So the end of Zlatan, as predicted, and we will need to look for a replacement, which brings me on to Morata at Real Madrid. Very frustrated striker who bangs goals in when he plays for them, but not seen as that Galactico sort of signing that Real Madrid will ever consistently settle for and give him the game time. He's looking to move this summer. He is frustrated. Chelsea are top of the queue, but Manchester United are interested. In fact, I believe it was actually Jose Mourinho who blooded Morata as a youth player at Real Madrid. So, would he be likely to come to Manchester United this summer? Well, we are looking for a number 9. And let's not forget, if we're in the Europa League, then we may not be able to get the creme de la creme striker that we crave. It could well be Europa League football and Morata for Manchester United. Personally, I like Morata. He's about 6'2". He's got a good goals to game ratio. He ticks many boxes. He is quite quick. He's good at holding the ball up. He's quite skillful. His finishing is very good. I think as a Premier League striker, he could adapt to it very well. There's always a risk, but there's always a risk with any striker that you bring in. Age-wise, 24 and a half, so, you know, experienced. I think he ticks many boxes. Personally, I think if we get the Champions League, we probably should be going for somebody a bit more high profile. But if we end up in the Europa League, Morata could be an interesting option, and also Chelsea chasing him as well, so keep an eye on that. He certainly won't be at Real Madrid next season. The next person I want to talk about is Franck Kessie, currently at Atalanta, Ivorian Coast. Bailey was talking about him back in January. He was openly about Manchester United and how he'd like to come and play for us. We thought a deal had been done with Roma, who were very interested in him. It's been stated by the club, Atalanta, that Roma, there is a deal there on the table. It is being sorted out, and the offer financially is one they are agreeable to. However, AC Milan may also be interested, but the club, Atalanta, have said that nothing will be agreed until the end of the season because Kessie quite fancies a move to the Premier League, with Chelsea again showing interest. No suggestion that Manchester United are interested in him, but Kessie is a name that I've mentioned quite a lot on the United Stand as the sort of destroyer centre defensive midfielder that would be very good for us. He's very tenacious, he's very athletic. He is currently 20 years of age. He'll turn 21 in December, so he is quite young. And whether Mourinho would go with somebody that young to take on such an important role in the Manchester United side is questionable. And let's not forget, we have our own young centre defensive midfield destroyer in the name of Fosu Mensah. So Kessie probably doesn't tick the boxes for Manchester United. But if we did move for him, I'd be quite excited about it, and it is encouraging that he's not going to make any decision till the summer, because I thought Roma did have that deal wrapped up. Touching on something from the weekend, Guillem Balagué is not a journalist that I take much notice of. In fact, he is very, very inaccurate, but he seems to think that Manchester United are at the top of the queue to sign James Rodriguez from Real Madrid. Like Morata, when he's been used, he's been very effective. In fact, he scored a couple at the weekend. I think Morata did in a 4-0 win. So he's a good player. I like James Rodriguez. He is 26. I think he's coming. I've got it written down here somewhere. 26 in July, so mid-20s. I thought he was 25. That's why I had to write it down. But wonderful left foot. I've said that so many times. Creative player, could play anywhere across the attacking midfield positions, number 10, right or left. I could see this deal being done. Jorge Mendes is his client, same as Mourinho, his agent. He would want to come to Manchester United. It's not working out at Real Madrid. He's not getting the games. Manchester United would be an appealing club for him. It all comes down to whether Manchester United actually want him or not. So again, keep an eye on that. I don't take any notice of Balagué. It was around this time last year that he said Pogba wouldn't come to Manchester United in a million years. So don't ever take his word as being anyone that you need to listen to, because he's more wrong than he is right. In fact, he's very wrong most of the time. But Rodriguez was a name that's been mentioned for a long time, which is probably why Balagué is jumping on it to try and get some credibility. Interesting. Again, a bit like Morata, I'd probably prefer we went and gotten somebody a little bit better, but beggars can't be choosers if we end up in the Europa League. A little bit closer to home, Matteo Darmian become very essential to Manchester United over the last few weeks with injuries to Ashley Young and Luke Shaw. Played at left back against Arsenal, be very important in the closing weeks. He's come out and said that his future at Manchester United is uncertain. That's how it is at Manchester United. Your future is never decided, and it will be sorted out in the summer. Do you want Darmian to stay, or do you think he is a player that should move on? Like I say, become very essential over the last few weeks because we've needed him, but the first few months of the season, a lot of United fans felt he wasn't good enough and it was time for him to move on. He's constantly linked with moves back to Serie A, and as an Italian defender, I'm sure many of those clubs would snap him up. So keep an eye on that. But, as always with the Transfer Daily, get commenting below on anything you want to discuss. Let's get the debate going as it was last week. Read all the comments, get involved in it, and let us know what you've thought about our topics for today. Back tonight at 8:30 on the United Stand channel with Skype Goldbridge, where you can have your say on everything that's bothering you with Manchester United, or you want to discuss. And obviously back tomorrow at 7 AM with more Manchester United transfer news to discuss. Thanks for watching. Please do drop a like on the video if you're enjoying these daily videos, and I shall speak to you all very soon.